Welcome to the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show with Larry Lawson. As a former career law enforcement officer and law enforcement educator, Larry focuses on the use of tried and true law enforcement investigative techniques in conducting paranormal investigations. Despite his experience and training, Larry also keeps an open mind to discussions on topics that deal with evidence that are not quite as physical in nature. Paranormal Stakeout guests are professionals in the field of the paranormal and parapsychology, conducting the investigations and research needed to further the cause of paranormal study. Larry advocates an agenda of standardization of structure and training in the field of paranormal investigation and research for the purpose of one day being able to produce the evidence needed to convince a jury of the existence of the paranormal. Whether it is ghosts, UFOs, unsolved mysteries, hauntings or cryptids, no topic is beyond the investigative reach of Larry Lawson and the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show team. Now, here is the host of the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show, Larry Lawson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Stakeout. I'm your host, Larry Lawson, coming to you from the headquarters of the Florida Bureau of Paranormal Investigation and Indian River Hauntings in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida. And it's just great to be back with you. And it's true what the intro said. We don't just talk about ghosts. We talk about anything in the paranormal, whether it be cryptid, ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs. We talk about it here. We want to really hear from you folks about it also. On this show, we're taking your questions and we are encouraging you to write into us. Go to Ghost Guy at paranormalstakeout.org and you can fill out a form there that will, you can ask your questions, you can make your comments, you can give your opinions, and we'll read it right here at the show, right at the beginning of each show. So when you get a chance, ask those questions. Something maybe we talked about might spring a memory in your head or something like that that you'd want to bring up, or maybe you have a disagreement, maybe you have a different philosophy or view. Share it with us and we'll share it right on the air with everyone else. I want to also invite you to take a look at us at our Florida Bureau of Paranormal Investigations Facebook page, as well as Indian River Hauntings, which is the outreach of the FBPI. You can get to us on Facebook at either Indian River Hauntings or the Florida Bureau of Paranormal Investigation. You can also go to our website at paranormalfbi.com and indianriverhauntings.com. Also, take a look at our YouTube channel titled Indian River Hauntings. You can find out what we're doing, see what we're doing, and be part of us there also. Got a great show tonight. Really excited. This is one's a little unusual. We're going down under. And what I mean by that is we're going to be talking to a group out of Australia, and it's actually Friday there. So this is proof of time travel. We're going into the future. 14 hours. But anyway, I'd like to invite tonight's guest from Night Watchers Paranormal Australia, Mr. Dan Ricard. Dan, how are you? Thank you for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me, Larry. Appreciate it.
So it's getting to be spring here, so you're actually heading into fall down there, aren't you?
Definitely, yes. Or, as we call it, autumn, but yeah, fall. Autumn, yes, that's
autumn, yeah.
Exactly what. Yep.
Well, I appreciate you being on. There is that 14-hour time difference. And I said, this is proof of time travel. We're speaking to the future right now.
I've got the lotto numbers ready for you, mate.
Okay. So, Dan, Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your group, okay. Your partner, Pete. Sorry, Pete couldn't be with us tonight.
That's okay. Yeah, so we've been running for about 3 years as a YouTube channel. So that's what we mainly are, is a YouTube channel. So Pete and I started out on YouTube doing other things. We were actually doing weird, funny food tastings from different delicacies from all over the world, and funny videos. And then we realized that it wasn't really scratching the itch. We didn't know what it was, but we found that we both watched paranormal videos online, and we're like, man, you know, there's a lot of I hate to use the word, but there's a lot of fakers out there. So we're like, we need to be one of the real ones. We need to get out there and show the real stuff. I mean, yes, there are, like yourselves and others that are out there are the real ones. But I thought, we've got to get out there and see what we've got and show our hometown, show our area, you know, and see what we've got. So that's how we got into it, and we've now actually expanded, so which is really great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we're doing really
yeah, I want to talk about that expansion, but
good.
you said you watched the paranormal, and I guess that's how a lot of folks started in this field. They started watching paranormal shows and watching the videos. Of course, YouTube has taken that to a whole different level. But why were you even interested in the paranormal? What got you heading into this direction at all?
Yeah, basically for me, it was curiosity. I mean, I want to know where we're going, if there is something after this world, after this life, and
Mhm.
I wanted to find as much evidence to support that we were going somewhere. We are going somewhere after this, and the journey that we've been on so far has really shown me nothing but the positive of that we are going somewhere after here. With Pete, it was more of a experience with him that he had a lot of paranormal experiences in his youth growing up. I didn't. My family did,
Okay.
but I was too young. I was around, but I was only like 4 or 5 when those experiences were happening. So I don't remember them. But Pete grew up with it a lot. So with us, Pete is very much the uh, so at the moment, right now, he's interstate. He's moved to another state for love, but we still run the channel together. We're still
Mhm.
co-creators. So he runs the South Australian team down there and does his part for the channel down there, and I do all the production and stuff up here. So when we were together with the channel, he did all the pre-production stuff. So he'd organise the location, talking to the key holders, all that sort of stuff. He'd do all the
Mhm.
pre-production, then we'd film and investigate together, and then I'd take over and do all the post-production. So I'd do all the editing, the research, the listening through all the evidence and things like that. Which he did as well. He did help with the listening
Mhm.
through the evidence and stuff as well. But my job was mainly all the visual, everything you see, whether it be the advertising, the video editing, all that stuff. So it was a good little team way we did things. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, and I've spoken with both of you before. And how did you guys even get together? You boyhood, childhood friends, or?
Yeah, we've known each other just on 30 years now, long time. So
Mhm.
the connection we actually used to get it a lot where people say, "Oh, you work so well together. Like, how do you get that?" I said, "Well, it's not something you can just create. It's something that's
Mhm.
30 years of being best friends."
Yeah.
So, we started hanging out, and we actually met through somebody else that we don't even talk to anymore. And just life drifts apart. But yeah, and we've been best mates ever since.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
what that's
let's back up just a tad because you're a little bit different than a lot of individuals I've had on the show, folks that I know that have paranormal teams that are just doing investigations. Maybe they do a little bit of YouTube stuff, but the crux of everything you do was to put on YouTube. So what do you consider yourselves? And I mean that in a positive sense. Do you consider yourselves investigators? Do you consider yourselves entertainers? Where do you see that you fit? And how do you think that fits that whole of folks that want to be entertained, if you will, with
Yep.
paranormal?
Okay, so perfect question, and I'll try and answer that as best I can. It's a fine line. It's like a fence. So first and foremost, we are paranormal investigators seeking the truth, and that's what we go out and do. We try and seek the truth and all the evidence and activity that we can gather to show
Mhm.
the world. So we thought, what better platform to use than YouTube to show our evidence to? So we were already on YouTube. So what we
Mhm.
did was rebrand. We were originally called Kickback Ricaz. My last name is Ricard. His last name
Uh-huh.
is Casalado, and it was all
Yeah.
about kicking back, just hanging out. Kickback Ricaz. But then we rebranded when we realised that this is the niche we wanted to go down. This is the road we wanted to go down. So we rebranded, became Night Watchers Paranormal Australia, but we wanted to capture the real truth. So yes, first and foremost, we are paranormal investigators. Secondly, we are entertainers, if that's what you class. But do not get them confused. We're not creating entertaining content, which is fake or staged or anything like that. Everything is
Mhm.
real. But the fine line I'm talking about is you do get a lot of people that create a YouTube channel and they'll just point and shoot their camera and they'll put their audience to sleep because they'll sit there for an hour and a half watching something that never happens. My job as an editor and as a producer is to create content that is going to keep people awake, keep people engaged. So I
Well,
create
yeah.
my episodes and videos to be fast moving, titles, bit of music, bit of bang, like what do you call it? If something happens, I'll put like a big drum sound in there, boom. It's like it's to keep people engaged and entertained at the same time as receiving real paranormal evidence. So yeah.
And so let me ask this question, because TV shows, in a sense, and a lot of folks in the field have a different opinion than I do. A lot of folks that are basically pure investigators don't like the TV shows. They say there's too much hype and things like that. And it's television. You have to keep people interested. You're talking about being an investigator first. Well, I know for you and I both know you can sometimes go hours and get nothing. So how do you put that together to keep it fast paced? Because sometimes fast paced is just not what it is. Yeah.
No. So basically, if we've got a method. If nothing happens, the video still goes up. So because it's all about showing people that it's not always like that. We actually had a bit of which I think you might lead on to a bit later on from when we were discussing the other day what we're going to talk about today. But we had a gentleman that decided to stir the pot. And he was saying to us, hey, how do you go out for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, and catch so much stuff? And all I could say to him was, I don't know. Basically, we go out and we just talk to these entities like they're human beings. We go in, we say, look, I'm Dan, this is Pete, or in our case at the moment, I'm Dan, this is Simon, because he's in my Queensland team. And we just say, we're here in love, peace, and respect. We wish you no harm. We're only here to communicate with you. If you do want to talk to us, these devices here can help you get your message across. And we tell them what they are. We explain to them what they are. If you touch this one, or if you stand next to this one, because if they're there, they can hear us and they can see us. So therefore, we're just talking to them like they're another person in the room. We don't do the whole antagonizing, provoking and all that sort of thing. I do get my back up a little bit sometimes if something evil is there and it's trying to push its way, like if it's trying to dominate, I'll say, no. The living are always stronger than the dead. Back off. I'll say, hey, we're here with love, peace, and respect. We want the respect back from you, whether you are evil or whether you're not. And then we always walk out with some sort of evidence, whether it be a K2 spikings, cat balls going off, REM pods, intelligent responses. We don't even know what the responses are half the time until I go back to edit it and I go, wow, we disembodied voices coming through our cameras all the time and we don't even know we've got them,
And being an investigator for many years myself, there's times where we don't get anything on an entire evening. And so, but we're actually coming up on our first break, believe it or not. But when we come back, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about really how you've been successful and how you keep enough content on the channel. So we're going to talk about that for a couple of seconds. Folks, I'm here with Dan Ricard from Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. Stay tuned. We got more to talk about. Be back right after this break.
From the Canada-US border in the southern region of Niagara, traveling north in Ontario's Golden Horseshoe, then east and west of the Greater Toronto Area, there is growing awareness and excitement as more and more people are starting their day with Beautiful Mind coffee, the delicious healthy coffee that your brain will love. Made with ethically sourced 100% Arabica coffee, Beautiful Mind coffee is roasted and ground in small batches to ensure each bag contains a wonderful full-bodied artisan coffee. Scientifically formulated, Beautiful Mind coffee is the only coffee blend that contains 3 herbal ingredients found to aid in boosting your daily mental clarity and focus. Maca root powder, green tea extract and American ginseng have been selected for their ability to support good brain health. Taking care of your brain's health now can help delay or prevent the onset of cognitive dysfunction, including dementia, Alzheimer's, and more general memory loss as you get older just by enjoying the delicious flavor of our roasted coffee and herbal ingredients found exclusively in Beautiful Mind coffee. Beautiful Mind coffee is now available at Amazon.ca and soon to be available in selected locations near you. In Hamilton, Ontario, Beautiful Mind coffee is now available at Live Long Wellness Clinic, located at 189 Hewson Street South. Beautiful Mind Coffee can be ordered by telephone by calling 416-436-3675 or 905-536-2450. Why have a good cup of coffee when you can have a great cup of Beautiful Mind Coffee that's good for your brain? For more information on Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit us online at www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca.
And we are back. Thanks, folks, for sticking with us. I want to take a quick second because Pete and Dan really could not do this without Beck and Andrea. So I want to give a shout out to Beck and Andrea and all the stuff that they do to help with your Facebook and Messenger and all that stuff. I know that they're right on us. So Beck, Andrea, you're the best. Wanted to say hi to you. So granted, you've explained pretty well how you got into this and of course of your interest. I can see the question of how do you get so much stuff, because being a police investigator, I'm pretty good at questioning and stuff, and we don't always get things. We're not always super busy. Do you stay busy all the time? Are you able to get a lot of evidence on every investigation, or do you have quiet times?
Oh no, we definitely do have the quiet times. There's definitely no doubt about that. No, we always have the quiet times. So it's quite interesting, actually. The nights where we think we've got a lot, we actually have the least. And the nights where we think, wow, this has been a really quiet night, we've got nothing. I go back and I start editing the video, and I'm like, oh my, this is like one of our longest videos. Like, it's just so much content in there, because it's like I said, disembodied voices that you don't realize you've got. The intelligent responses through the spirit box, that you don't realize that you got at the time because you missed it. You can't hear it on the fly, as you say. So yeah.
So you get most of your evidence tends to be auditory, from what I gather. You're
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. We don't get the whole bangs and doors closed. I mean, we do get knocks and sounds and things like that, but a lot of our stuff is more auditory, like you said. It's not so much the swinging cupboards and the doors clanging and banging and things like that. No.
But I guess maybe one thing I'm getting at is you edit it so that you can. Well, you do stuff live too. How much do you do live as compared to edited stuff?
Okay. Yep. So when Pete went down to South Australia, so he's about 2 or 3 states away from me now. I say 3 because there's a small one in between. But he does all lives. He does all live stream stuff. So he works in conjunction with Spirit Crew Australia, which is the founder of that team, and that group is his partner. And he works in conjunction with them a lot, and they do a lot of live shows. So he got into the live stuff because he doesn't do the video editing. He doesn't know. So actually, speaking of that, he's doing his very first video edit this week. So we're going to wait and see how that turns out. But he does all the live stuff. So everything that you watch with him is all live. It's all live streamed. It's on the go. Myself, because I do production, because I do edit. I thought, well, we can't be all live. We've got to have some sort of production stuff to keep people engaged, and for the ones that don't like lives, because you got to. It's, how can I say it? It's like fishing with more than one bait, to get your audience in. You can't just give them one thing. So we give them both. We give them the lives, and we give them the edited stuff.
Okay.
So our teams that we've got going, which we're probably going to talk about, they're all doing the editing side of it. They're dipping their toes in the editing water, as so to speak.
Okay. Now, you've gone from being a YouTube personality, which you guys are. You're quite entertaining. I do enjoy watching your stuff.
Thank you.
To paranormal investigators. Once again, I understand you had the interest, but there's a lot of folks out there, and in teams you're expanding. I mean, the one that comes to mind, right in my own neck of the woods. Shout out to Allison up there at Cape Canaveral, just north of me. Started out off of a group, and I guess she's fairly new to the field. Yeah. But you're bringing in folks, and we're going to talk about that in more detail in a minute. But they may not have the training, and I get the impression that when you actually started investigating, you really hadn't had any formal training.
Nope.
So how did you get yourself up to speed, such as knowing the equipment, theories behind the equipment, what you were actually hearing, what might be natural, what might be paranormal? What did you do and what did you do to get yourself to speed, and what do you recommend new people do
Okay.
that are coming
First
into
things
it?
first, with Pete and myself, never done it before. I mean, put it this way: our very first episode, I thought that a lens flare was a orb. I titled it "The Clearest Orb You've Ever Seen in Your Life." I knew nothing. It was a lens flare, and I've learnt this along the way. So that's how new to it we were, that I actually confused a lens flare for an orb. So we learnt by watching, listening, watching other people. But our biggest thing was actually jumping under the wing of more experienced paranormal investigators. And I want to give a shout out to Pariah Paranormal, Dwayne Simpson and his team. They're called Pariah Paranormal. They're located in Brisbane, so they're about an hour south from us. Top guys. We went out with them a fair bit, learnt some stuff from him. Also, the girls from Haunted Down Under. The girls from Haunted Down Under, they've been on TV, been interviewed by Channel 7, like the local commercial TV stations. They've done some big stuff. So we were very lucky to jump under their wing. And when we started, we had by the time we got in touch with them, we had a couple of hundred subscribers. Excuse me. They had I think they were at 6,000 or something at the time. So they're still bigger than what we are now. So we jumped under their wing, and they taught us a lot. So both teams taught us a lot, and watching and learning, and a lot of mistakes, trial and error. Like, oops, okay, whoop, that's not that. Whoop, okay, So just had to jump straight in the water and start learning how to swim, because there was no one in our immediate area where we are now, where I am, that was in the same boat, so to speak. We had to just learn to swim and learn fast. So that's what we did. Now, regarding the teams, how you asked about the teams. Now, we've expanded. So I think at this present stage, I haven't heard of any other paranormal team other than Spirit Crew Australia. Now, actually, I've got to give credit to Angela Accardi, the founder of Spirit Crew Australia. She's the one that gave us the idea of expanding, because she started it, and then, like I said, her and Peter together. So they had
Loving
the idea.
Paranormal.
Yep, it's all about exactly. It was all about the para unity and the community, trying to get it to be what it should be. So we thought, let's expand, let's get it out there, let's try and get the night watchers, which I know you guys believe the same thing. Let's try and get those beliefs and those values that us, yourself, and us all believe in and value. Let's get it out there. Let's try and get these other teams absorbing these values, and let's all work together to get there, because we're all in this together. We're all trying to find the truth and the answers to what's after this life. What is there? There's so much that I think the paranormal field, we've only just from the start of time, from when we started investigating paranormal as a whole, we've only just scratched the surface. Not even.
Oh, well, one of my big issues in the field is we really, sometimes we'll put an old piece of equipment in a fancy new box, maybe with a few new glittering lights on it, but we haven't really improved our equipment or our techniques yet. And you had mentioned a minute ago about para-unity. That's one reason why I think we need to get together to talk about it, come up with some guidelines, come up with some structure, so that we're all kind of on the same boat. And if we're all thinking together collectively, if you will, I see a better opportunity to create different methodologies, better pieces of equipment. Because let's face it, Dan, we're stagnant. We're really, really stagnant. We're not moving forward in the world of equipment.
Exactly.
What you mentioned, jumping in and making your mistakes, just on the comedy side, biggest goof you made out there.
Oh yeah, well, I make a fool of myself all the time, Larry. That's just me. One of the biggest comedy sides to our thing is we're doing a live stream. We did a live stream once, and we were actually going to do, it was an exploration of a place that we were going to go and do a investigation at. This place is called Old Petrie Town. So Pete and I went in, saw the key holder. He let us in. We've done the drive around the place. We're sitting at this park bench, and you've heard of profiteroles, right? Now,
no,
profiteroles, they're a little treat. They're like a delicacy
It's,
thing.
an,
It's like
it's
a
an
little roll.
Aussie thing. It's an Aussie
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, but it's called a profiterole. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, I've never seen the word written before. And I turn over to my left, and old Petrie Town is full of shops. Like they're still current shops, but it's old. It's all from when the settlement, that sort of thing. They're all old shops. Anyway,
Right.
I've turned and I've looked, and this is during a live stream, and I've looked over my shoulder and I've gone, profitages? And Pete just turned and looked and went, profiteroles, mate. Profiteroles. Anyway, the whole audience is just tears, laughing at me, So we have a lot of funny times. Another one is when we went through what we call as Hangman's House. It was just what we nicknamed it Hangman's House. It's an old decrepit house falling apart. Pete decided to take me there one night. I was straight home from work. I still had my sneakers on, my running shoes, and so not protective boots or nothing. So I got changed quickly. Forgot about my boots. Out the door. We get to this place, and it's this house that's basically falling apart. Well, I looked down and went, oh, there's nails down there. We've got to be careful. Anyway, we walk into this next room because there was boards hanging down with nails sticking out of them. And lo and behold, walking back out of the room, Pete goes to me, yeah, careful of the nails and stuff. I'm like, yeah, yep. Bang. My foot goes straight down onto a nail, straight through the shoe, straight into my foot. Ow. And kept going, kept doing the investigation. But that night, the investigation. And that night, I had to go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot. So,
I guess.
yeah. So, yeah, we have some bloopers. We have some funny moments. There's plenty of them. I can't name them all because I just off the top of my head.
Scariest thing you guys have since Night Watchers Paranormal's been in business, if you will. Scariest moment.
Oh, okay. Probably it's with us. I see Pete and myself both have a security background. He's a long time out of it now. I've only just came out of it last September. Been in security for over 25 years. So we're used to walking around places of a night in the dark and all the rest of it. We're used to that. But we were at the old butter factory doing a live stream. Now this place is a band. We had permission by the key holder. He gave us the keys and everything to get in. But we're doing a live stream from there, and we start hearing noises that sounded like a human being running on the roof. Now, we didn't go to paranormal in our heads. We went straight to a real person. So we're thinking, oh, wow, okay, our safety's at jeopardy here. So we've got to work out what's going on. So we got really scared because we're like, wow, is this one person? Is this a person or is this an animal running around? So you'll see on the live stream that we freaked out a little bit, but it wasn't the paranormal we're thinking. We're thinking it was a real person.
Right.
So we got straight into security mode. So out come the flashlights. We're going straight around looking for everything, and a bit like yourself, if you're out and with automatically that instinct kicks in.
Yeah, got about 30 seconds. So
yeah, okay, yeah. So that's basically what happened there. That's the scariest moment. One of those. Yeah, it wasn't paranormal.
Well, when we get back, as I said, we're about ready to take our next break. Gosh, this is going really fast. But I want to talk a little bit more about the para-unity thing and why you think that's important and how you think we're going to get there. So we're going to talk about that when we get back. Folks, we're going to take our next break now. Stay with us. I'm with Dan Ricard from Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. Stay with us. We'll be back right after these messages.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
SIMULTV.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about SimulTV.com. SIMULTV.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dan Ricard from Night Watchers Paranormal Australia down there in Brisbane. Is that properly pronounced?
Yeah, Brisbane, yeah.
Okay, close enough where you're at. Well, I appreciate you being here tonight. And once again, you don't have a website, but they can catch you on YouTube at Night Watchers Paranormal Australia on YouTube, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. I'll have you remind everybody that before we leave. I want to talk to you about the Unity thing, but there's a couple of things that came to mind during the break that I actually would like to get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What's the paranormal? What's your theory? What are your thoughts on what this phenomenon really is?
Now, okay, so everybody is going to have a different belief. Everybody's going to have a different opinion about what the paranormal is. I personally believe in different dimensions, different parallel dimensions.
Long
Now,
Island
I believe,
theory.
yes. So I believe
Okay.
that there's different paranormal dimensions. I believe that at some point we were bumped from, remember the, what do they call that thing? The collider, something, they did it underground and they split the atom, or whatever it was.
The
And
collider, yeah, sure.
yeah. They actually say, whether it's true or not, they actually say that when that happened, we bumped into part of us bumped into the second dimension. You heard of the what's it called? The Mandela effect. You ever heard of the Mandela effect?
Sure.
And they reckon that a lot of the Mandela effect is caused from being bumped into that next dimension. Is because some of us believe, like if you look it up for your listeners, if they look up the Mandela effect, if they're not sure what that is, it's basically where some of us believe and remember certain things, but the other people remember and believe something else. They go, no, it was never like that. It was always spelt this way, or it was always like that. Like that whole Darth Vader thing, Luke, I'm your father, but it was actually whatever it was. I can't remember the actual term. But so there's so many different things, like different cereal boxes, with your, I think you have a peanut butter called Jif, like Jiffy or something like that.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah. The way it's spelt or something like that. There's so many different things, but if your listeners look it up, it's called the Mandela effect.
Well, and that had to do with Nelson Mandela, the president of South Africa. And some people think he died in prison. Other people say no, he became president. Now, and like you said, everybody has their different thoughts. I'm not 100% sure if that's what that is, or it's just folks aren't paying attention closely and see things going. But who knows? And I think you have a point there, Dan, because I truly believe that if anybody says they know exactly what this phenomenon is, they tell you they know exactly what a ghost is, or what, they're either lying to you or themselves or both.
Exactly right.
Nobody
Now,
knows.
all of my followers will tell you, I've said it in so many videos and so many live streams. If anybody tells you they are a professional in this field, they're fooling themselves, because unless you've died, gone to the other side and studied the ways for years, then come back and teach us the ways, which nobody's done, you're not a professional. We're all learning. Yes, some of us might be more experienced and have more experiences, but nobody's a professional. I think that we're all actually learning. We're all apprentices, I should say, in this field. I think that we're all learning. We're all trying to figure it out, because nobody really knows. It's a pseudoscience. Paranormal is a pseudo with ghosts and spirits and stuff. It's a pseudoscience. It hasn't been proven, but it hasn't been disproven. It's one of those, where are we? Where are we sitting with this? That's what I believe.
I'm going to go off at a little different tangent with you on a second. Then,
yep.
Bigfoot. I don't know if do you have Bigfoot down in Australia or some derivative of it?
Yeah, Bigfoot, Yeti, different names for it. Same thing.
There are those that believe that Bigfoot, we'll just use the American term for for
Yep,
simplicity.
yep.
But the Bigfoot is a dimensional creature, and that's why we don't find that we never see them on drone shots or aerial photographs. They come and go because they in and out of dimensions. So is that where you're kind of thinking?
To be honest with you, I've never actually thought of it like that, and to be honest with you, I actually think you're onto something there, Larry. It does make sense because, like you said, we've never really had any. And have you noticed that nothing is ever really close up? It's always from a very far distance. After zoom, 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 a lot of zooming to see it, and it's never clear. So I don't know. Bigfoot with me is a touchy one. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm not saying I do. I'm a very big fence sitter when it comes to Bigfoot because the possibilities. Look, there's so many things that we don't know with this universe and this and these multi dimensions and all the rest of it. Who knows what's in the next one? Who knows that they haven't worked out a way to come through dimensions to us? You know, who knows? I think you might be onto something there, Larry. I have to agree with you, definitely.
Well, I'm not sure how I even believe in that. I'm just kind of spouting theories of others. But it's interesting. I mean, Einstein did talk about different theories in his general theory of relativity, different dimensions, I should say. Moving along that, UFOs. There are folks in our field right now that are beginning to connect all three of them together. Have you experienced that at all? Have you experienced that at all?
No, and actually, that's something I'm going to look into and research after we get off here because that does sound very interesting. But I'm a big believer in. Look, I think that if somebody thinks now, everybody can think what they want. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
I agree.
And I'm not dissing anybody here. I'm not saying that they're wrong or right. But what I'm saying is, we can't think that we are the only living organisms in the entire universe. If you look at how big the universe is, our galaxy is like a grain of sand on a beach. So we can't be the only living organisms. We'd have to be pretty up ourselves to think we're the only living creatures. I believe that there is aliens. I believe that there are other beings from other galaxies, other from a distance far, far away. You know, I believe in that. You know, because we can't be the only living organisms in the universe.
And I would agree with you. Physics as we know it today can give a really good argument about why interstellar space travel is not possible. But that's physics as we know it today. So who knows exactly what's going to happen? I think the biggest thing is keeping your mind open, Dan. Not just saying no just because you think. Have some data, do some research, as you say. So I totally agree with you on all that. And that leads kind of into this unity thing, because the one thing I have found in this field is, well, I know better than you, and I've got this experience, and I've been doing this longer than you, so I know better.
Yeah.
And it's caused us to kind of separate, kind of become little islands of our own.
Definitely.
We're not working together to find these answers. Hey, listen, there's something going on. You cannot say for a millennium that people of all socioeconomic classes, levels, rich, poor, in between, that have experienced things, we're all not nuts. Well, maybe I am, but what I'm getting at, there's something, whether it's our own mind creating it, whether it's dimensions, whether it is energy from the other side, we just don't know. But we got to come together for an answer, and we're
exactly right.
We're just not doing that, and there's a lot of hating going on out there, which
I think it's a lot to do with the fact is that, especially I have to say, especially in the YouTube world, everybody wants to be the next Zach Bagans. Everybody wants to be the next Ghost Adventures, the next this, the next that. We didn't get into YouTube to become stars. We got into YouTube because that was the platform we chose to show our evidence to the world. It's the platform was already there. We didn't have to create a platform or a website and then say, hey, come in and check our stuff out. It was already made. It's already a global. It's the second biggest. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, owned by the first, Google. So we just thought, well, hey, we've already got a YouTube channel doing all this weird food stuff. Let's do what we want to do, change everything, rebrand, and let's use that platform to get our evidence out to the world. And that's why we do it. But we've noticed that in YouTube, everybody wants to be the next biggest thing, the next biggest sensation. We don't do it for that reason, even though some people might look at us and go, oh, yeah, you're just doing it all for the views, or everything's produced, yada, yada. Yeah, I produce my videos. Yes, I definitely put some entertainment value into it. But, one thing that I never, ever do, and I can swear this on my daughter's dying oath, is that I've never, ever faked or staged any content to go into our videos. And if we ever collaborate with someone that actually does, or we find out does, we will pull any video down that they've been in, and we will put a public apology and explanation on our YouTube channel saying we weren't aware, we no longer associate with these people, that video is pulled down because we don't want to be classed as using it to get views or anything like that. People think that you're a YouTuber, you make heaps of money. No, our YouTube channel basically runs itself. At the moment, it pays itself to run itself. So it pays for StreamYard, YouTube, things like that, any bills that we get for the actual channel itself. That's it. Pete and I don't claim we don't take any money. So, and any money that we do have goes straight back into the channel anyway. So we've both got our 9-to-5s. We've got our jobs that we do. We've got our own money earners. So the YouTube channel is basically to get our real evidence out to our audience. That's it.
And I appreciate your point of view on that, because I think there needs to be more just honesty. Let's get the information out there. Let's share. Let's get better at what we do.
Yes.
Have you
Definitely.
had any real issues out there on your channel where things have happened that have been negative?
Yeah. And we scratched the surface on this in the last segment, but without bringing up any names for legal reasons, we've had a gentleman that tried to pull us down and tried to say that we were fake and that we had our facts wrong. Everything that he brought up in his videos was undone with a video that I released back. So he tried to pull us apart. In other words, he was someone who was jealous. He'd been on YouTube for about, I don't know, I think it was 6 years or 8 years or whatever it was, and he had like 400 subscribers, right? Mm-hmm. And he's obviously jealous, or I don't know. He had some sort of bee in his bonnet. He didn't want to, in other words, something, I don't know, that was annoying him.
Yeah, had an issue with you.
Yeah, had an issue. Yeah. So he tried to attack us. Well, it was the biggest mistake, because every point that he made was undone, because not only us but our followers and our. See, one thing that we do, we take subscribers out with us. We'll take random people out on investigation with us. The reason we do that is, one, to give them an experience, to show them, hey, this is what we do. But two, and sometimes they're fans or followers, whatever you want to call them, that want to come out with us. Yeah, cool, come, let's go. We're not big-headed. We're just normal people that just film our content. But we always take them with us because we want to show them that nothing is faked. And every single person that comes along with us has gone onto our channel or onto our Facebook group and has said, legit.
I got to put you on hold here just for a second. We'll talk more about that in just a second, because we got to go to our last break. Folks, I'm with Dan Ricard, Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after these messages. And we are back for our final session tonight. Wow, as always, these go so quick. And I got Dan Ricard from Night Watchers Paranormal with us, and want to remind everybody to take a look at our websites at paranormalfbi.com and indianriverhauntings.com. Check us out on Facebook, our websites, but also our YouTube channel under IndianRiverHauntings.com. And I want to remind everyone again, if you have thoughts, comments, questions, things you might want to ask about the paranormal, sharing with us your experiences, get a hold of me at ghostguy@paranormalstakeout.org. And there's a form on there, submit it in. We're going to bring it up at the beginning of each show. It'll give you folks a chance to be part of what we're doing here. And Dan, how can folks find you? Where can they go to find you?
Okay, so we're on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/NWPAUS. And also we're on, we've got a Facebook group. Just search in Night Watchers Paranormal Australia -group. And one of our moderators will let you in, just as long as they tick the little box saying they agree to the rules, and they're straight in. And it's one of the safest, most beautiful paranormal communities they can join. No belittling, no judging. That's why we've created that community. But the biggest thing they can find us on is YouTube. So just type into the search Night Watchers Paranormal Australia and you'll find us. Otherwise, it's just youtube.com/@Night Watchers Paranormal Australia.
And you can also subscribe to your Facebook and get all kinds of live feeds when you guys are on and everything.
Yeah. Yep,
I
definitely.
get those all the time. Excellent.
Yep.
Interesting conversations, and you talked about some of the hating that goes on out there, and you've experienced it. How do you handle it? How do you handle it personally? And I bring this up because I went to one program, and this is years ago. I won't mention any names, where there was an opportunity for people to come in and present their paranormal evidence, and the panel that sat up in front sat in judgment of these folks. And I saw people going out there excited, and maybe it was a dust orb, but instead of talking to them about it, they were belittled. And I saw how that hurt people, and maybe even kept somebody from pursuing this field further that would have been of great value.
Yeah. All I can say to that, Larry, is that anybody that's listening or watching right now, if that's the sort of person you are, that's disgusting. What they should have done is said, hey, like you said, they should have said, hey, look, have you thought maybe it could be this? Reason being is if you have a little close look, and then show them, describe to them why that could be this and not this. Don't belittle people. Don't judge them like that, because like you said, they're just going to go away now. It's like the American Idol say. Someone goes on there, they get told, oh, you're absolutely shocking. They get laughed at, and then they'll never sing again. Yet they could end up practicing and becoming one of the best singers in the world. But they just get shot straight down, and then their dreams are shattered. Same with this. You can't shatter someone's dreams and someone's evidence like that. Hence why we created a safe community where people can come in and not be belittled or judged. That's, disgusting.
So then what do we do to further the belief of paranormal unity? What do we do?
I think we need to expand, hence why that's what we've done. I think if the people with the right morals and the right beliefs and the right mindset need to spread. They need to spread the seed, get it out there, spread the word. They need to do that. Hence why we have expanded. So not only is Night Watchers Paranormal Australia, we've got Night Watchers Paranormal South Australia, Night Watchers Paranormal Brisbane. We've got about 6 or 7 teams over Australia. Plus, we've also got our Night Watchers Paranormal Japan, Night Watchers Paranormal Florida in the USA.
Yep.
And
Allison,
we're just about, exactly. Alison, love you, darling. And we've also got, we're about to launch and roll out Night Watchers Paranormal Canada. And so we're expanding all over the world. And that's the reason why, is because it's to get the message out there. It's to let people that are wanting to get into this, it's giving them a platform. The reason we did this is because I don't believe you have to be a experienced paranormal investigator. I think you've just got to have the right heart and the right head. If you get teamed up with someone that has the experience, great. Jump under their wing, off you go. But the wing that they've always got, every team member of ours is on a messenger chat. We create a separate messenger chat rooms for each team. Pete and I are there to answer any questions, and we've also got our moderators and admins, and we've also got other experienced paranormal investigators to guide these people through their journey. So what they do is we give them an agreement, and on the agreement just says, these are the rules,
Okay.
these are what we ask you to do and not do. Don't smoke or drink on camera. Basic, simple things like that. What's your language? Things like that. Because they're YouTube policies that we have to abide by. 3 strikes and we're out. So they're representing our brand. So we get them to sign an agreement.
Okay.
We then create them and create the team, and then we roll them out. I create them up a banner. I create them up a video intro and a video exit screen, and then all they do is they go to investigations and they just start point the camera and go,
So
and
are you,
yeah.
let me ask you this. Are you wanting them to be more YouTube channels or more investigatory personnel? What's your thought there?
Once again, it's a fence. So the whole idea of it is for them to grow as an investigator. If it's something they want to get into and do, it's for them to grow as a paranormal investigator and to learn and to develop as a paranormal investigator as for themselves and do things their way. We don't want them to investigate the way we do it. We want them to investigate the way they do it, but with the same morals and the same, beliefs.
Then let me ask you this. Okay. And I see where you're going with this, but if you've got a group, let's just say in, I don't know, Miami, Florida, and they've got the right attitude and everything, but their method of investigation really is opposite or different than how you do it. How do you take the evidence that they've gotten during their investigation, done with methods that you wouldn't use? And I'm not even talking about attitudes or motives here, but that you wouldn't use. How can you compare those 2 pieces of evidence when they've been collected in dramatically different ways? Okay, so I understand exactly what you're saying, and I agree. With our teams, so like I said, there's usually always somebody on the team that has got some experience, but we also get them to watch Pete and myself on our videos to see how we do it. We want them to investigate their own way, but use our methods, use our techniques, do things the way we do it, but in your own way, in your own personality, Okay.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm hearing is it's like, I'm a big believer that every time you do an EVP session, regardless of how you ask the questions, you always start with date, time, who's here, method of recording, and that's always a preamble. And then you ask questions a little bit differently. I get that. But do you worry about your groups maybe going off on a tangent?
Yeah, staging or faking things or things like that, or...
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all. I mean, that's going to be a fear. Whenever you have people involved, that's always got to be a concern. So let's take that angle. How would you address that issue? Okay, so in the agreement that they've signed, which is a legal document, it states that they cannot and they will not stage or fake any content whatsoever. So I have all the trust in them in that point of view, because each person that's in the team, we have a video call with. We talk to them. We say, right, these are the rules. This is what we expect. This is the sort of, and we gauge. You got to remember, I've been in security for over 25 years, so I've learned how to work out personalities and stuff like that. If I believe someone isn't, this is even before they get into the team, I'm interviewing them. Same with Pete. So if I believe that they're not really a good fit, I'll say, look, we'll get back to you, and then I'll get back to them and say, look, unfortunately, you didn't make the cut. So they have to pass a personality sort of moral sort of test that we sort of do on them just by talking to them, if that makes sense. The agreements, it's all these bullet points. They have to sign that. So therefore, I know that they're not going to fake anything because it's a legal binding agreement. But to an extent, but there's always that in the back of your mind where you're like, how much can I trust our teams? I do, but you always have that in the back of your mind. Like, you have to know that
These
And
guys, our name is riding on these people.
absolutely. And I think that's
Yes.
why I'm such a big believer in training as well as structure, because I think that will help a whole lot with that. We all got to kind of get on some of the level playing field. And if the rest of your crew out there is like Allison up there in Cape Canaveral, you're going to be fine.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, she's
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you go. No, you go. You go. It's all good.
Well, you got about 2 minutes, a little less than 2 minutes left now. And I'd really like you to take those 2 minutes and tell me what the future holds for Night Watchers Paranormal, whether it's Australia, Japan, Canada, or wherever. What's the future hold?
Okay, the future, with any luck, we want to expand to the point when we've got a team, at least in most countries. Now, look, it's all about creating that para-unity, getting those morals out there. So if you want to use the term, I'm creating an army, but it's an army of people that are going to try and do things the right way, try and push those beliefs out there, not those beliefs, push those morals out there, I should say, gather things the right way. But every company out there, everything that is ever generated and created has teething issues. They've got things they have to learn as they go through. So Pete and I have to take on advice from people like yourselves, and other people out there, and go, right, okay, so maybe we should get our teams to do this, or maybe we should be once a month we get on all the it doesn't have to be every team member, but all the lead investigators for each team, we get on a video call and we go, right, guys, let's go through a checklist, let's work this out, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure everything's being done the same way. But that's the teething issues that any company or any enterprise has when they're starting out, any organization. That's all about learning as you go and putting it together as you go to achieve that final result. And I want to bring up too, one last thing, I want to give a bit of a push out to Paranormal United. Speaking of the unity thing, is Angela Accardi, which is Pete's partner. She's got Spirit Crew Australia, and Pete and myself for Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. The two teams are combining. So Pete and myself and Ange are starting a show called Paranormal United. Now we're filming our pilot episode in the coming 2 months. Now the whole idea of that show is to do things a little bit different, to bring those morals in, to bring in those real ways of doing things. It's Angie's idea. She's created the concept. It's we've got a celebrity guest that's going to be joining us on this. So if people go to Facebook, they just type in Paranormal United and like the page, because it's coming very soon. So I just wanted to give a shout out.
Now we got about 30 seconds, and so real quick, how do people become a part of Night Watchers? Okay, guys, head to YouTube and just type in at Night Watchers Paranormal. Not Great. Australia. I got that wrong earlier. It's Night Watchers Paranormal. But if you just type it in the search, just type up Night Watchers Paranormal Australia. Got to go, my friend. Thanks for being with us, folks. Come back next week and have another great guest. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the other side.